What is up, car addicts? Welcome back to the series where I build popular movie slash TV show vehicles using cars in GTA Online. Remember to let me know down below in the comments what movie slash TV show car you want to see me customize next, and I'll display the most liked vehicle suggestion comment in the next build video. Now again guys, remember that I do have a separate series for the Fast and Furious cars, so again this movie slash TV show series is for the other popular movie vehicles. So, in today's video, we're going to be building the Volkswagen Beetle from the movie Bumblebee from 2018. A fantastic film that honestly was very well made. It's set in the 80s and shows us what happened before Bumblebee was known for being the iconic Camaros later on. Highly recommend watching it if you haven't seen it already. So, the car we're going to be using for this build is the BF Weevil, which is available from a Summer San Andreas website for just under $900,000, or a trade price of about $650,000, obviously directly based on the Volkswagen Beetle, so it's perfect for this build. But anyways, let's go ahead and start the build for the VW Beetle from Bumblebee.
What were you looking for?
Alright, VW Beetle from Bumblebee, let's do it. Alright, so firstly we have the Weevil custom upgrade. Obviously this turns it into a crazy rat rod. We don't want that, so we're going to skip that. As usual for all my builds, I always do max armor and performance mods, so we already got those installed here. I just haven't done the engine and stuff yet, so we'll do that here shortly. So our first visual mod is going to be the bumper. So the real car has, I guess like the overriders with the extended bumper section up top. Unfortunately, we don't have that here as an option. The closest thing would probably be the chrome injection bull bar, but that's just too off-roady, just too big. It just doesn't work. So personally, my opinion, I think the stock one is the way to go. Same thing for the rear, same issue. So you want to stick with the stock rear bumper as well. Continuing to engine, we're going to max that out. Exhaust. So the real car did have a chrome exhaust. Now it was kind of like a little bit rusty, dusty, like that barn find look. But yeah, I mean, the stock one kind of looks like that, but I think the exhaust pipes are just too small, and that look is just a little strange to me. I think the way to go for this one is going to be the chrome exhaust, the first option here. You could also go with big bore, but I think that's a little bit too big, so we'll go with the chrome exhaust there. Even though these are the same size, but yeah, I think these are just way too big compared to the real one here that I'm seeing. So yeah, we'll stick with the chrome exhaust there.
Now that's some kind of engine.
Fenders. So this one you're gonna leave stock, so it doesn't have any special fenders. Hood, you also want to leave stock. The real one I believe did have like a chrome trim down the center, but you can't do that here unfortunately. So yeah, stock hood. Hood accessories, also skip that. Lights, you want to leave stock. You want that yellow look. Livery. Now the car did have a slight rust look to it around the edges of the doors and some other areas. It was very mild. I mean, you really couldn't tell unless you got like really up close to it, started looking at the details around the fenders and stuff on the edges. So we don't really have a simple rusty livery like that. The only one we have is this one, which is just overkill. It's way too much rust. I mean, this thing looks, I mean, it's way too much. Forgotten race car, all these the same issue. So personally, I think your best option is to skip the livery option, unfortunately. I mean, I wish you would have had a more simple rusty look, but unfortunately we don't. So I'm going to go ahead and skip this. Plates, so the real car did have a blue on yellow California plate, so you want to do that. And then the actual plate text from the film was RWM4V15, which I went ahead and replicated here, so put that on there. Respray. So this yellow, this one took me a bit to try to get a yellow that I thought was personally close to the real one, because if we go to the yellow that we currently have in game, the yellow and the race yellow, this one is too much on the orange side. This one is way too bright, so I wanted something sort of in between, more towards the race yellow. So I went ahead and made a custom crew color, which I'll leave linked down below in the description. Well, the hex for it, not a link. I'll leave the hex in the description. But if you can't use the custom crew hex, then you can go ahead and just do a classic race yellow. So here's the color right here. We just gotta take the pearl off of it. Let's do that. Pearlescent. I'm gonna make that black. The card didn't have a pearl, and I mean that is very, very close. And if I go to secondary, you can actually see the difference between the yellows. Go here. So here's normal yellow, looks almost orange, and then race yellow is just way too bright. So this one you can see is the crew one is darker. So that's exactly what I wanted. I think it's perfect. So we'll do that. Secondary, we're gonna go ahead and make match. So primary, secondary, same color. Trim color. So the real card did have like a gray interior. So you want to go ahead and do that here as well. I recommend a rolled steel. But you can also go with shadow silver. You can go with bluish silver. But I think, or you can even go with stone silver, even though those are a bit dark. I think either rolled steel or bluish silver. Those are the only ones I'd personally go with. I'm going to go with the rolled steel, a little bit darker there. Unfortunately, I think it's the secondary color that's linked to, no, primary color that's linked to the interior. So we can't change any of the yellow accents on here. And unfortunately, you can't change that, so it just is what it is. But at least you can get the gray in there. Okay, roll cage. The car didn't have a roll cage, so we want to skip that, leave that stock. Roof. The car didn't have any special roof, fixed roof, so we want to skip that. Skirts. So the car did have running boards, so you want to go with the basic running boards here. Those are going to be the closest. Spoiler. The car didn't have a spoiler upgrade, nothing like that, so stock as well. Suspension, you want to leave stock. You don't want to slam it or anything. The actual car actually sat a bit higher than this, so yeah, definitely go with stock. Transmission, turbo. Turbo's up to you. I mean, the way they sort of showed Bumblebee speeding and stuff in some of the scenes, I mean, it seemed like he had a crazy amount of power due to his technology, whatever. So if you want to put the turbo, that's up to you. I'm gonna go ahead and put it. Why not? Make them even faster. Wheels. So the stock wheels are very close on this car. However, of course, the I believe it's the secondary. This car has so many things linked, I always forget. Oh, so the interior is linked to primary, but then the wheels are linked to secondary. Okay. All right. So the wheels are forced linked to secondary. Obviously, you know, we don't want a silver secondary because the color of the wheels on the real one is sort of like a silver with the chrome center hubcap. So to combat this, you're gonna have to go with the, or as an alternative, I should say, you want to go to a lowrider category, and then you want to throw on here the classic rods. And they already come in the brightest silver we can paint them, which is the alloy. White is, you know, doesn't look right, so definitely the alloy on there, and I think that's perfect. That's the closest you're going to be able to get to the real one there. Windows, the car didn't have any tints, so you want to keep that stock, and that's all the options there. Alright, let's take it for a drive, exit to ground. Now, I know the paint is a bit bright, so for those of you who do like modding and glitching and stuff, maybe you could do, because matte is definitely way too rough. I think it is sort of glossy. It's just like a really dirty, worn out car. I think maybe like if for those of you who do glitching and stuff and modding, I think a worn version of this color would be perfect. The worn texture, for those of you who know what that is, but even out here in the sunlight, that color turned out amazing. I think it looks awesome. First person here. Obviously a lot of yellow in the interior, but there's nothing we can do about that, you know, because it's linked to the primary color. But yeah, it looks fantastic. Floor it here. Yeah, the Weevil, it is in the compacts class, but it's a pretty easy, nice car to drive. Thankfully, no handling flags like the SE Classic, for example, so, you know, it's not terrible to drive. It's actually quite nice. It drives normal for the most part. Handling isn't the best that you would expect, but still a pretty nice driving car. A little first-person action here as well. Wow, a lot of body roll. Look at that. A lot of body roll. I like it, though. This thing, it definitely looks the part. Looks absolutely fantastic. And of course, I believe this is the only car in the compact class that can actually do wheelies. So for those of you who don't know that, this one can do wheelies, and it's in the compacts class when normally only muscle cars can do that. So that's very cool there. The Weevil overall, I just love this thing. It's definitely worth owning 100%. And if you want more of that look from the real one, I recommend driving on like dirt roads and stuff, and that way you can get the paint a little bit more like dirty and less glossy. You know, just go off road with it for a little bit, and then you're gonna get that dirty look on the sides and stuff. I think that's definitely what it needs. But yeah, very cool car. Absolutely love it. Let's go ahead and pull over here and open all the doors and stuff like we always do. Vehicle doors. Just need some 80s music on the background like from the movie. Vehicle doors. Everything opens up. Oh, the spare doesn't match anymore. I mean, it does match, but the color doesn't match. No, not bad though. There's the interior. I wish we can get rid of that yellow. They should have separated that, but it is what it is. The engine model there. Very, very cool. I'm so glad that we eventually got this in the game, because obviously, you know, up until this car came out, the only thing we had close to it was the BF injection, which is like a lifted variant, which didn't really look all that great. And I'm glad Rockstar finally added this one eventually. That looks the part, has great customization, just an awesome little car for sure. But anyways, guys, again, hope you enjoyed. Definitely let me know down below what movie / TV show car you want to see me do next, and I'll see you in the next one.